thing that is playing out in Rivers State. Tinubu did not win election in Rivers State. For those of you who probably witnessed or you are not suffering from the Stockholm syndrome, right? In 2023, it was that bad that Wike started kidnapping electoral officers, falsifying figures, mutilating election results, only to then declare that Tinubu scored 230,000 votes in Rivers State. Peter Obi that they actually voted for real, right? Ended up scoring 170,000. An open rigging that a lot of people, which actually contributes to most of the, should I call it, angst or anger against Wike. Why so many people really want to see what happened to him at the end? Because Tinubu didn't win any polling units in Rivers State in 2023. None. You see those people who are singing about today, who are shouting on your mandate, and all of that Wike is using. Not a single one of them can show you where they've openly campaigned for Tinubu in Rivers State. Nowhere. But look at them today, right? So again, how are they going to manage it? That is what's going to happen next. Wike this time, courtesy of Tinubu, has managed to take over the control of the local government areas. It's not because Wike is it's kind of like a powerful or anything. He owes it to Tinubu, to be honest. In case if some of you have forgotten, on the day of the Fubara's local government elections, majority of these guys that are singing about today, majority of them were already kind of like a chase to the hole. None of them could come out. The election held. The swearing in took place. Wike couldn't go back to Rivers State until the Supreme Court gave them that judgment that the whole thing was illegal. It should be nullified. Courtesy of Tinubu. What did they do? Tinubu appointed sole administrator. A sole administrator that is unknown to law in Nigeria. No, Nigeria 1999 constitution as amended does not recognize sole administrator anywhere. But yeah, Tinubu appointed one. Gave him power to conduct election, write budgets and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's how the with the Wike's men managed to get back and took control of the local government areas. So Fubara currently, which many believed that as he already joined APC, that should give him some level of a protection. But with the Wike won't have, would have none of that. As you have been witnessing in the past week, towards the end of last year, and from the beginning of this year, he has been going everywhere to remind everyone that what he did in 2023 will not repeat itself again in 2027. And no matter what arrangements Fubara went into, right? Or whatever he's telling everybody out there, that's not what they agreed. He will not get a second term. Right. This has now prompted the APC stalwarts to begin to actually latch back that way to. You are not even in our party. Like, what kind of entitlement or power do you really think you wield that you can decide what will happen in the APC in Rivers State? Some are saying that he's already shot himself in the legs, right? But we'll get to that part. One guy that is called the national media guy in APC, Ebekebe, was with Daily Trust, where he was addressing the same thing. We're going to go to Rivers State. Let's stop by in Abuja, where another APC stalwart is taking on with the Wike. He called him busybody. Yeah, if Wike understands.
Honorable Minister Wike is mixing right and wrong, or he does not know what it means to be called a busybody in law. He's a lawyer, and anybody that meddles into affairs that don't belong to him is a busybody. As far as membership of the party is concerned, Wike is not a member of the APC. And he has no right to interfere in the affairs of the APC. To do that is to be meddlesome. And if you meddle into affairs that are not within the purview of your rights, you have to get your wings cut to size. And Wike has attempted to interfere in the affairs of the APC, and his wings will be cut. unless he decides to do the right thing, and the right thing is for him to resign the membership of whatever party he belongs to, and then come
I think he belongs to PDP. We are not sure.
Okay, very good. So you are not sure, but you cannot say you think he belongs to the APC. You can guess that he belongs to the PDP. It is for the PDP now to say whether he is a legitimate or rightful member of the party or not. If he is an illegitimate member of the PDP, then he belongs nowhere.
But the tidbit you had, they said, of course, Wike is not a member of their party. How will you describe him now? Where does he belong? Is he floating?
As far as PDP is concerned, I don't even know which one is the rightful or legitimate PDP. So I don't know which faction gave this disclaimer. But wherever it is, Wike does not belong to the APC where I belong. And if he interferes in the affairs of the APC, he's a busybody, he's being meddlesome, and he must know what it means to be so named.
Some people will be really, really shocked to start hearing this whispers from the APC, considering that in the last 2.5 years, he has been part and parcel of the APC. I mean, he is a member of the Federal Executive Council, and many believe that all the fights he had with members of the PDP, were at the instance of the APC. How do you reconcile this, Bala?
Well, I think there is a misconception or misunderstanding of the position of Wike. I'm not holding brief for him, but if I understand him very well, I've heard him say more than once that he's in support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has no regret supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Before the election, he said he was going to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. After the election, he said he supported President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the leader of the APC. Now, because of that relationship, people think he has been working for the APC. Well, I don't know the legality of that, but I can say based on his pronouncement that he has been working for the success of the president. To that extent, yes, he has helped the president, and since the president is a member of our party, by extension, our party is a beneficiary of Wike's support for the president. But that does not give him the powers to interfere with the affairs of the APC unless and until he changed that pronouncement to say that he is supporting the APC. He is going to work for the APC. He is working for the success of the APC. But if he is working for the singular progress and success of the president, he is not working for the success of the APC. He is working for the success of the president. And there is a difference between the president, the presidency, and the party where the president, Honorable Minister Wike.
Another year, Wike is not working for APC, according to the APC guys. Wike continued to remind everyone that he is working. He has worked and is still working for Tinubu. Now, in that sense, the APC believes that it should possibly stick to that and not meddle in the affairs of the party, whatever the party is going to do with Fubara. But you see all of this, everybody is still playing around the bush or like dancing around the bush. But we'll get there. The guy continued, by the way. Yeah.
What happens if Wike joins the party tomorrow?
He will be given a position. That will be a
interesting part. I'm actually thinking maybe I should play you a clip before that part. Here is the thing. According to them, if you are the governor of a state and the party, you are automatically the leader of the party in that state. But that doesn't mean that what you do can override what the national want to do. Do you get that now? But if you're in a good relationship with them like that, or, when you see the likes of Oplesus or Digba and a few others like that, right, who have direct access to Tinubu. So the way they relate, nobody tells them that they are not leaders of their states. But when it comes to Rivers State, how's it going to be like? If Wike joins the APC, for instance, which he won't, for the obvious reason, okay, he's got to stay in PDP to do what he is doing in preparation for their 2031, when Tifnubu is done, according to the Wike State plot. But what if he's finally pushed to go and join them in this course of trying to stop Fubara? Wouldn't that be like a from frying pan to fire again? That's what the guy wants to talk about. But here is what Wike said just before he handed over to Fubara, by the way, or when he was pushing for Fubara. Was there? He did say this.
That's what you can do about it. Even when you have spent 8 years in office, that you continue to pretend to say who becomes who, whatever, in Rivers State. It doesn't. Somebody say me. It may happen in Lagos State, but it will not happen in Rivers. We are quite different. It will not happen here. As a governor, I will come and go. I can't stop it. I must come and go. All the Kebari left. You've never heard of me saying that you will do this, you will not do that. The day my tenure, by the grace of God, ends, I go. That's how God wants it. But see, when you are in a position to think that what's happening in Lagos State, you will do it here, it may be difficult. You cannot continue to say you must be a godfather of the state. That's the problem. It's not possible. Today I live here in the name of Almighty God. I have no business to say, why must I produce? Why? What am I hiding? The people of the state should be able to say, this is who they want to produce. We from Rivers State, we don't want to lose somebody in the capital. I can tell you, not in Nigeria.
Wike, a very funny man. But right now, he's currently building his own legacy. What do you call that thing again? Dynasty. He's building his own dynasty. There's this young boy, his son, that if he becomes House of Representatives member, is being sent to the House of Reps in 2027, okay? So if he becomes a rep member, he will likely be the youngest rep member in Nigeria, I think, at the age of 24 or 25, it is said. But we are going to come back to that. So if Wike join APC, is he not going to end up under Fubara in that kind of arrangement? That one itself has started generating different sort of like a controversy right now, right? Where they are now saying, the national chairman of their party is now saying, no, governors are not the leaders of the party in the state. Really? On top this reversal. So what will Wike possibly believe he did for Tifnubu in 2023? This could also be the Achilles heel for him. I mean Tifnubu, because 230,000 is how much Wike gave Tifnubu in 2023 as vote. However, in Osun State gave APC over 340 or so thousand. You see, all these numbers are now playing out. That's why some of them are saying it seems Wike is now overplaying his political hand. He may get bumps, but here, that guy.
What happens if Wike joins the party tomorrow?
He will be given a position. There will be a seat for him. If he decides to join, he will be placed accordingly.
Will he replace Fubara?
No way. He will certainly be under Fubara.
But do you think he will agree to be under Fubara?
No, that's a choice for him, right? If you follow, you will be followed. But if you don't follow, nobody is going to follow you. When he was the governor, he was followed. Now that he's not the governor, he must follow. You cannot carry the position of leadership after vacating the seat.
But you know, he always gets what he wants. Wike, probably he will move for, is it alteration or changing of the APC constitution to now say maybe if you had served and then you are still agile and all that, you know, politicians can do anything.
Well, I think you are not being fair to Wike. You want us to revisit his encounter with that naval officer, where he tried to get what he wanted and he didn't get what he wanted. So I don't want us to go there so that we don't overflog the issue. But certainly he does not get what he wants all the time. There are times when if you go against the let down regulations, you cannot get what you want. And as a lawyer, he knows better. Because the first article of the Constitution, I'm not a lawyer, but I know the first article of the Constitution. It says everything and everyone within the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not supreme over the Constitution, which means the Constitution is supreme over everyone. And the Constitution has spelled out positions. Hierarchically, it has spelled out roles. So you cannot come and impose yourself above that which was prescribed by the Constitution. He is a lawyer, he knows better. The Constitution recognizes the position of a governor. The Constitution recognizes the position of the president. It recognizes the position of a leader.
But we are beginning to see a situation whereby political leaders deal with the Constitution at their convenience. Look at the recent issue around the tax reform, and many other things. So will you blame people like Wike who believe? Because he said as soon as Fubara, for instance, has his ways, he is buried. But he concluded himself, meaning that crisis is brewing heavily in Rivers State. Are you not worried looking at the voter strength of Rivers? And by the time now Wike is not satisfied with the current arrangement, probably you will not get the votes that the president expects to get from Rivers.
Yes, I will not be happy, particularly because I don't want to attend his funeral. But
Wike's funeral?
Yes, I don't want to.
Not the president's funeral?
Certainly it's not going to be the president's funeral, because the president didn't say if someone wins, he will be buried. But he said if Fubara wins, he's going to be buried, but conditionally, politically, he said. So I think he is not talking about a real
life situation.
Yes, so politically, he said he will be buried politically. Okay, I don't have the right to vote in Rivers. I don't have any special interest in Rivers other than the victory or success of my party. So whatever happens, my wish is that the APC wins in Rivers, and I believe it is going to win because it is working assiduously day and night to see to it that it galvanizes the opinions of the people of Rivers in such a way that they will vote for it. I am confident we are going to win. Whether that win will result in the political death of Wike is another thing which I don't want to see. I want Wike to remain alive politically so that we can have more political entertainments. Even if without the brigandage, I want a polished entertainment so that we keep the body politics active, So as a lawyer, I look forward to seeing more finesse in the way he does his things. I don't like the way he does things with brigandage. It is not in tandem with the teachings of law. Most lawyers have this arrogance. They say they are learned. I always find that insulting. All those
Are
of
you
us
saying
that,
he's not learned the way he's behaving?
I want to say he is not that learned in law, because decorum is one of the things that is expected of a lawyer. They always show themselves as fine gentlemen.
And he don't behave as such.
No, Wike is not gentleman. For the entertainment part, of course, I agree. I said that 2 days ago. I said, we are all going to miss Wike if indeed he gets politically buried in 2027. You will miss him. The band, the jive, the voice, the braggadocios, and all of that stuff. You're going to miss that. Indeed. But yeah, it seems like it's not somebody who is going to go down without a fight. We're going to go to Rivers, by the way, all right? But first, let us stop by in the studio of Arise, where they are also having a chat around this, where this is headed. Then afterward, I'm going to share with you, right, a kind of like a not too surprising engagement between the Ronukus on the same matter. And those ones, the tribal morons, right? all those mummus. So they have already started tribalizing what is going on between Fubara and Wike. And guess who they are blaming? Guess who the Ronukus are blaming for what is going on between Fubara and Wike? I'll come back to you. Now, Abati.
Beginning of the end of this fight. On this, like they say on the streets, President Tinubu 200.